Check 1 2 1 2.
Check 1 2.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Check.
Hello.
Is you hear me?
You're looking for?
Is this thing on?
Time to get up and move your body. All systems go.
Everything locked and loaded. Everybody strapped in.
Get up. Check 1 2 1 2.
Check. 3 4.
All right, good to go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah, Paul B. the Dove, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you, Chat Chimers, Ghost listeners, radio listeners. It is Monday, June the 12th, 2023. In the middle of this year, for sure. So
already.
Man, it's supposed to be summertime, but I don't know. It's been a little rainy, a little cool. Feels like spring still a little bit.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
It does. I wonder if them Canada fires got something to do with
it. It's got something to do with my sinus issues. I can tell you that.
Man. Yeah.
Good morning to y'all. I see that you guys are jumping in the chat already, real deep. That's what's up. Appreciate you. Leah Keister says, "Happy magical Monday morning."
Okay.
Yeah, ran into her this weekend. That was pretty dope. Pop says, "Good morning, First Sky and Mad Love from Las Vegas." Appreciate you, Pop. Miss Erica Felt says, "Good morning, friends. You up and early this morning." Good, Miss Erica Felt. Appreciate you.
Yes.
Kimra Snipes says, "Good morning, y'all." Good morning to you too. You up early as well. That's what's up. Amy H. No Dot says, "Happy Monday." Brother Sanchez says, "On them things."
Okay.
That's what's up. Mark Manager is up early too. Says, "Good morning. I can see it in your smile. I can see it in your eyes." Man, brothers is coming with the lyrics this morning. That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Mama God says, "Good morning, First Fam." Good morning,
Dukes.
Mama God. Wanda Lewis says, "Good morning. Good morning to you too." And Marion Harrison says,
That's
"Good morning, family." I'm sorry, Marlon. My bad. Marlon Harrison says, "Good morning, family."
Yeah, young brother doing the Omaha North interviews.
That's right, man.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to you on that, man. Those oral histories are very, very, very important.
Yeah.
Amy H. Dot says, "Good morning, fam." Good morning to you. You guys is up early this morning. That's what's up.
Yeah. I'm really appreciating the energy, man. Because I'll be honest, I'm a little low on the energy, man. I don't know if it's Monday or I need a break. I don't know what it is today, man. But I appreciate the energy y'all bringing because I need it.
Definitely got a case of the Mondays myself.
Man,
it's a little rough this morning for sure. We are a week away from the break.
It's the last week of the season. And I am feeling it, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking forward. I will be honest. I'm feeling it, and it's not even, just the waking up like this. This isn't actually not even the hard part. I mean, it's just life, man. I just need a break.
Also, I'm this is around this time is when I start really needing a break from the news.
That too.
Know what I'm saying? Like just the consumption of it all the time, man. Having to think about it, sifting through it. When you think about it, we spend a lot of time, a lot of parts of the year thinking about people, individuals, and groups and things and stuff that goes on that we would normally try not to be thinking too much about or putting too much energy in. So in order to really even just talk about what's going on is mentally taxing. So yeah, sometimes we need a little break from that. We talk about something else other than those things. I mean, we put a good amount of time into talking about those things. We treat it with the importance that calls for it. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it'd be nice to just be like, who won the? Maybe that's why I'm not into sports so much because I don't have time to be feeling for what team's doing what and all that. But sometimes I'd be longing for it. Be like,
Yeah.
just call Buddy up. Who won the game? Who you going for?
Cause I know, man. It takes that balance. You definitely gotta take care of yourself. Just balance, man. We talk about it all the time here on the show. Like, yeah, you gotta do the work. Somebody, the work has to be done. But also the work of self-care is just as important, man. So let us know what you have. Anyone has any plans this summer, going to any trips, anything, let us know.
Yeah,
Let us know.
what do you do to decompress
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you are mentally and physically tired? What do you do? Let us know. Give us some ideas. Brother Sanchez says one swift kick coming right up. Yes,
Man.
it feels like every day. Amy H. No Dot says we all need breaks. Appreciate all the energy you two out into this. It is evident time to recharge. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Appreciate that sentiment for sure. Tamika Johnson in the chat. I haven't seen that name in a while. Good morning. Says enjoy your break, fellas. You deserve it. Please post your return dates on YouTube as well.
We'll
Yeah,
do. We'll do.
put a little video out on YouTube about it as well. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, we won't leave you guessing, won't leave you hanging, but we'll be back.
we typically take the last 2 weeks of June and the first 2 weeks of July off. That's how that usually works. And then of course be looking for dates for the Chat Chimers kickback in the middle of that too. So it won't just be dead activity in it during the month. There'll be still activity going on Friends of First Sky Omaha on the First Sky Omaha page. As a matter of fact, we'll probably be launching the website within that time frame. So there's a
Mhm.
lot still happening for sure. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody staying tuned for that.
Yeah.
Just got a shout out from Beth. She says another morning of inspiring music. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate
Okay.
you over there on the radio channel. Go to firstsky.omaha.com. Hit the listen button. If you want
Yeah,
to check
man.
out some celebration of Black music and more shows and things coming on that. So stay tuned there.
Yeah, man. In the words of Nipsey the Great, one of the highest human acts is to inspire. So, yeah,
So,
yeah. Shout out to Beth, feeling inspired. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I saw you post a picture. You had some dinner with JBA and Beth
yeah,
in the fam.
it just happened to be in town around my birthday, so we went out and had some food and some laughs as always. It
Yeah,
was a good time. Appreciate them taking me out and showing me a good time, man. It was real fun. We had a
yeah,
really good time. So it was like on the down. It was on the last end, the tail end of my weekend. So it was just right, just what I needed. Just sit down and just have a good time with some fam. So that was great. I really appreciate them doing that. Shout out to the fam. I can't wait to get out there to visit them. I don't be feeling like going to Texas much, but the more friends and stuff that I have over there, the more I'm like, I guess I'm gonna have to go check out, see what's going on over in Texas.
yeah. Me and my brother went back and forth. My brother's in Texas right now, and we kind of went back like, man, you gotta come visit me in Atlanta. He like, come on, man. Why won't you come to Texas? I can't do Texas, man. It's too hot. It is way too hot in Texas for me. It's not like it's that dry heat that. Oh yeah, I can't do Texas.
Yeah, well, as far as the dry heat is concerned, I'm cool. But just
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Texas, Atlanta, I don't know. Seems like Atlanta's the place to be right now.
come on, man, come on. But there are a lot of Omaha transplants in the Texas area.
Yeah,
All throughout Texas. So a big shout out to the Omaha Texans,
the
Texan
representation.
Omahans. Yeah, represent.
Kimber Snipe says I'm going to Scottsbluff, Nebraska next month. What you doing out there?
Okay.
Stacey Jean says, good morning, First Guy Omaha family and friends. Good morning, Stacey
Hey.
Jean. Miss Erica Fell says, last night I booked flights for this August. I'm going by myself to the coast.
Okay.
Man, that pop locker that you put on your page the other day took me back for real. Like
Mm.
show a video of me back in like '98. And I was probably looking just like that, doing all that at the car shows. Kimber Snipe says, what's oh, she's saying hello. Yeah, say hello to each other. That's
Mm-hmm,
cool.
mm-hmm. That's
She
what's
says,
up.
I've been sitting on Southwest Miles since before the pandemic. Man,
Oh, okay.
you better
Hey.
use them miles up.
Right. Especially if they ain't expired. Go ahead.
For real. Kimber Snipe says, I love Texas. Houston and Dallas got humid heat though. Ooh, yeah, I don't like that humid heat.
Hmm.
I do not like that humid heat. That is down south.
Yeah.
You didn't think about it.
Yeah.
That's interesting how different the climate is from Texas to like California and down in that area, Southern Cali.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I'll be visiting some old poppers. That's what's up. Kimber Snipe says, Scottsbluff, Nebraska Democratic Party State Central Committee meeting. Okay.
Oh, okay. Work.
Scottsbluff.
Yeah.
Always working. She always working too.
Yeah. We appreciate you, Kara, but make sure you taking a break and doing some self-care as well. Yeah, it's important. It's important. So big shout out to everybody tuned in, all the support that we have been receiving, and we'll hopefully continue to receive. We definitely appreciate, love, and thank everybody, and even those of you giving us encouraging words. Understanding that sometimes we need a break.
We really do. Something going haywire over here. Hold on.
Okay. I kind of see you looking. I'll stay in the chat. That woman saying they don't expire as long as you earn at least one a year. I have the credit card. Oh, okay.
See, we're trying to get like you.
Right. And they don't expire. That's good news. That's good news.
That's really good news.
Yeah, man. That's definitely one thing. Continue to, protect your dollars. Look into some financial things. That's kind of where I am. Got to get my finances back in order.
Oh, you and me both. So yeah, we're working on that, and working on that as a team too. Like there's some things that we can do with First Sky Omaha that we've been thinking about and we're working on, and just that's kind of what that whole follow the money season was about too. Is like learning some financial literacy. We got into following the money and tracing things that's going on in town and how the money's being spent, 1024, all those things. But at the same time, we were supposed to be also putting some financial literacy stuff out there too. So as we learn, we want to share, and there's definitely going to be some of that coming up in the subsequent seasons that we do this for sure. So, yeah, man. So lots to come. I am very excited about that. I have a case of the Mondays today, but I'm very excited about what's coming.
Oh yeah.
For us in the end of the season here, the break, the new season. We still got some people that we're trying to bring on before this season's over. So stay tuned for the next 2 episodes because I'm working on something behind the scenes on that. Speaking of which, one of them is we've been talking about trying to bring Brother Willie Barney on to talk, and we got about 2 more shows to try to do that this season. He's been very busy. Of course, they had the big Empowerment Network meeting over the weekend with Magic Johnson. And there was we're getting reports back from that. So I think Precious McKesson won an award.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of news coming from that situation too. There's a whole lot of chat chambers, a whole lot of people that follow us that went. So that's good. I wanted to hear from people that went. So
yeah, actually, I did see a few clips from that event. It did look like Magic was dropping some gems, dropping some jewels, giving some inspiration. Talking about inspiring others. So yeah, that is kind of interesting. Would like to see what came out of that, and of course, I think Kimra posted a photo of Precious who won an award. So definitely big shout out to Precious. But if anybody else got into any events over the weekend, definitely sending your reports. Let us know how things were. But definitely looking forward to if we can get Brother Willie Barney on to speak with him.
Yep. Meantime, between time, what we got going on today? Today is News Monday. And we're just kind of go through some of the headlines, some of the things that you guys have put in Friends of First Sky Omaha too. We're definitely going to try to engage more on Friends of First Sky Omaha, moderate more, and so on and so forth. We want to be able to be, was happy that you guys are posting things, but sometimes want to know what's behind the post.
Yeah.
Don't just post the article. Post the reason why you thought the article was important to share. It's still a conversation over there on Friends of First Sky Omaha. So I encourage everybody to do that. And I'm gonna engage a little bit more so that we can do that with each other. So definitely check that out. But as for the news today, what's going on in the ether?
Well, speaking of haps over the weekend, definitely trying to get more information and more perspective on what happened at the Bryant Center. Again, there was seemed like a police event over at the Bryant Center, which to our knowledge was shut down, especially after Brother Sherman Wells and started that whole and really stopped that whole saga that they were on again for really over a year throughout the pandemic and afterwards. Brother Sherman Wells and a lot of the other community organizers came together to put together Friday movie nights, and they had a lot of things going on with the community. And there was some controversy that happened with the Bryant Center, causing them to leave that area. And now there's some police events. So again, I want to know what's going on. Does anyone have any information? Anybody go out to that event? Does anyone know who's behind it? And there's also some efforts from Brother Josh Jones, again, local legend, Hooper coach, and just all around good guy. He is looking at the Bryant Center also to breathe some new life and then maybe figure out some more projects around that area. So again, what is going on with the Bryant Center? Does anybody know? I'm definitely going to talk about it coming up, especially as a lot of development coming towards the 24th in Lake areas. Again, the Bryant Center definitely one of those staples in the community. So again, we all have stake, wondering what's going on with it.
Yep.
Now, also speaking of the future and the community and having stake, we definitely have figured out that we all have stake in what's going on in our schools, and a lot of public are speaking up. A lot of people in the public, I should say, are speaking up. And headline reads from Omaha World Herald: Public wants next OPS leader to transform district. Again, continuing to look at the OPS board's search, for a replacement for Dr. Cheryl Logan after she resigned earlier this year. So I'll definitely look at that situation and what could come out of OPS and what are the public comments looking for as far as envisioning a future for OPS. Again, could be a very, very pivotal point for the largest school district in the state. And then finally, looking at housing things, it looks like a few nonprofits are still pouring money into housing and some very interesting perspectives on housing. Again, should it be schools? We've talked about schools building housing. We talked about businesses building housing. Now nonprofits putting in money. Again, should the state be doing more? What's out there? We'll talk about it again, all that. And of course, if there's anything on your hearts or your minds that we're not discussing, feel free to drop that into the chat. As always, it hasn't changed. Let your mind be free. More importantly, let your voice be heard. But in the meantime, in between time, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you. Let's go.
Let's go. What up? Good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B. the Dove, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you, chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, thanks for joining us this morning. Once again, it is Monday, June the 12th, 2023. If you're just joining us and if you believe in the concept of time, that's what time it is right now. It's the date. So there you go. I often forget what the date is. I don't know if that's just getting old or just really losing myself in the things that I'm doing. But whatever the deal is, it is what it is. We're here. We're alive. Or it's once upon a time called right now. And I'm glad that you guys are here with us. Appreciate that very much. Pops in the chat said, Paul, your great grandfather Womack was raised in Paris, Texas. Interesting.
Okay.
Did not know that. Also, Kimber Snipe says, I got to be a guide on a neighborhood tour for the conference. She says, I will have to tell y'all about the incident that came up during the conference about the mayor. I can't wait to hear this story here about comments she made in her morning introductions. She says, I had a guest in on our breakout session tell me that when he got home, he was going to go viral with his video. We're looking for some juice. We're looking for the juice.
Okay.
See what's happening there. That's what's up. Wanda Lewis said Bryant Center will be another cash cow for nonprofits. She says, I remember when the police was trying to shut Bryant Center down and didn't want the parents parking on the streets. Very interesting.
There you go.
Now they got straight up events going on now. So
yeah, that's very interesting. Actually, let's go ahead and start with that. Again, as we kind of recap over the weekend, looking at what did the community get into, what was going on over the weekend, and definitely the police. There was a fire truck parked in the middle of the street, which is quite ironic. Again, Sister Wanda Lewis talked about the police didn't want the parents to be parking in the streets, but now we got a whole fire truck in the middle of the street now that the police are throwing an event. Now,
Mm.
again, did anybody go to this event?
Now, from what I understand, there was two events going on. The one with the fire truck was something different than the one down at the basketball courts.
Okay.
So the one with the fire truck, I actually stopped over there and talked to a couple of the vendors. As I ran into DJ Chevy, as a matter of fact, she was out there spinning
Hey.
the ones and twos, and she said that this is her second year doing it, and they've been doing this thing for a few years. I think that one was led. I pulled over because I saw Willie, our Southwest correspondent Willie Williams, standing outside, and I think they were out there like promoting Juneteenth and stuff like that. So I asked her what was going on, and they just said, "Yeah, we just got a little block party happening." And then I was like, okay. And then I went down the street and saw some stuff going on the Bryant Center and thought maybe, I wonder if this is connected, but I don't think it was. Now that I'm getting some things, I got these pictures. So was down at the Bryant Center. This is different than what we saw down on 24th and Lake. So this is the Bryant Center, not really sure what this was all about. Like, to be honest, this is the first I seen of it, heard of it. Um, there was a post that said it was called the Love Thy Neighborhood event. It was a free event. This was on the police department's Facebook page. Out at the free Love Thy Neighbor event at the Bryant Center. Come on out. Omaha Crime Stoppers is out here too, handing out some swag. That was the post on the police department's Facebook page. This is what this situation looked like. So, big fire truck down the street on 24th and Lake, big police vehicles down by Bryant Center, bounce houses everywhere. Seemed like a few people was out, not like a Sherman Wells and them event, but there was some folks out there. So, anybody hear about this? Did anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like we do the haps, we do stuff all the time, and the Love Thy Neighbor event never popped up on our radar. Did it? Did anybody else check out? Of course, I don't follow the police pages.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why it didn't. But who was involved with that stuff? I also saw Willie Barney and a couple of his team kind of close to 24th and Lake. I think they were out there supporting that 24th and Lake Street event, whatever that was. Don't know the name of that one either. I don't think that it didn't seem like they were part of that one down the street with the police event, but I didn't stay, so could have been. Not sure. Wanda Lewis says people stated that there were no minority police presence.
Yeah, I mean, not from what I saw. I agree.
I mean, is there ever? Is there, it seems like there's hardly ever. Anytime I see anything going on 24th Street, I hardly ever see any minority police presence there. So, including Native Omaha Days parades and everything. So yeah, as a matter of fact, like I said, I saw it Saturday, and then this morning got up and saw a couple of posts that you guys thankfully put in Friends of First Sky Omaha that even let me know what was happening, because I still didn't get what was going on. Stopped and got me a juice from Imani from Idle Vital, and she was just like, yeah, a lot of activity. It didn't sound like she really knew what was up either. Which event was what? So, not really sure. Anybody out there wanted to put it out there on the chat? Anybody let us know. Let us know what's happening. If you guys knew what was going on, or if this is the ongoing event, this is the annual thing. I really don't know much about it. So if you know anything about it, let me know. And it just begs the question, what's going on at the Bryant Center? Like I said, last time we talked about it, Brother Sherman Wells and them had to stop, decided to stop doing stuff over there for whatever reason. Or got told to stop. I can't remember what was going on there. But
yeah, that's honestly, I'm trying to go through the Untamed page. Untamed is the organization that Brother Sherman Wells was a part of, and they were the ones throwing those events at the Bryant Center. So I am trying to figure out, there was posts about it and trying to get more information about why they did stop those. But to my understanding, it was not by choice. Again, they weren't really being supported in this effort that they were trying to do at the Bryant Center, which is very interesting, because now we have an article from Flatwater Free Press who is stating that church, which is the organization that owns that property, they're looking at now another person in the community to do seemingly exactly what Brother Wells was doing, which is very interesting. Again, the Flatwater Free Press article reads, 25 years after Josh Jones, again, for those of you who might be familiar, a long time Omaha Central guard, actually a grad who broke many records, and apparently kind of cut his teeth, if you will, on that very court, the Bryant Center court. And just now, 25 years after that love formed, he has returned for one more shot, according to this article, to revive a dormant landmark, to once again make it the beating heart of North Omaha. St. Benedict's Church, the original visionaries for Bryant Center, asked Jones to reignite the community's interest in youth programs, especially the courts. It's part of a broader push to reinvigorate Bryant Resource Services. The basketball playground, constructed it at the peak of the civil rights tensions, once lured the biggest athletes in the city, reminding us, of course, that a lot of legendary athletes have come out of the Omaha, North Omaha specifically area, as we just honored Gail Sayers, but also Martise Ivy, who was a 1984 Omaha Central grad, of course, scored 2,000 points during her Husker career. She says it was once Nebraska's version of the famed Rucker Park, which actually birthed, if you remember, the And One series.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that is quite the comparison in the basketball world for exactly what this court means. But again, what is going on is very interesting. According to Jones, of course, those courts are legendary still. But what is the future? What is the vision? And of course, what is going on? It's very interesting to me that this article is as Wanda Lewis saying that Josh was asked to participate. So I don't want to put anything on Josh again. Still, as far as I know, definitely a good dude. Kind of one of the more known faces in the community. But what's going on with St. Benedict's Church? Why kick out Brother Sherman Wells? And unlike they're saying this like re-envision, what Bryant Center could be, as if there weren't already organizations like Untamed doing things at the Bryant Center 2 years ago.
When we had Brother Wells on talking about it, he had talked about how they've been doing it for a while. There have been no incidents. They've been really bigging up black business. There was booths, there was all kinds of stuff, activity going on, and it was a success according to every metric, according to the metrics of the streets, and according to the metrics of even the Empowerment Network and everybody. Where was everybody? Backing Brother Wells with this? Where was the back when he was asked to leave? We've been wondering that. We've been wondering what's going to happen with it. And Brother Wells left us with what he's doing ain't going to stop. They will find they will have other places. They will even be maybe even coming back to the Bryant Center if they can work their situation right. So very interesting that this has come up. And I was kind of surprised to see it. And for those of you that do not know what the Bryant Center is, for those of you listeners that are outside of the area or have never been over to the courts, maybe Buddy, maybe you can explain a little bit better. I know that the area involves some basketball courts, several courts on a piece of property that usually, there's been a lot of activity there. I remember there was a food truck there one time where people were in line and it was able to get food. There's always vendors out there. It was really hot across the street from when the Culture House was there, and the Union for Contemporary Art even before that was there. A very hot place for black business to thrive. Tell us, can you tell us a little bit about the area just for the people that don't know?
Just for a little context, I went to Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School, which is about a mile or so up the road. And I was also a member of the Boys and Girls Club, which is right around the corner off of Hamilton. So I'm very familiar with the area. And during my life, the majority of my life, especially my childhood, that court was dormant. There was not a lot, and you might see some signs on the gate. Every once in a while, there might be some people out there shooting some hoops, but for the most part, as far as community events, that court was mostly dormant. As far as I know, again, I didn't really see the level of activity that we have seen until the pandemic, really, until Freedom Summer 2020, even really 2019, I would say. 2019, there were a lot of activities, kind of like you were saying, around when the Culture House was formed, right there across the street from the Bryant Center. The Brother Marcy a lot of other organizations were throwing some events there. Of course, Bud Crawford threw some events there, a couple grills and picnics. There were some events, happening. And then, as far as I know, reoccurring events, Untamed and Sherman Wells, and the Friday night movie nights, and all the activities that they were doing. That was kind of the most activity that I have seen frequently and consistently in that area.
Mm.
And that's kind of my perspective on it. Now, Brother Stewart is in the chat, giving us a little more background. He's saying it used to be some big basketball games at Bryant Center, night games, huge crowds, and lit scoreboard. He's saying that this was around 75, 76. So kind of more so the heydays. It was live when I was a kid. Reaganomics killed Bryant Center. So again, Brother Knight kind of give us a little background as far as the heyday, and as Martise Ivy saying, making that comparison to Rucker Park is not a small thing. Like, Rucker Park is kind of a mecca of basketball in the world, and Bryant Center was that version of Omaha.
Right. Also, in the '90s, there was a effort from I believe Queen Latifah was a part of coming and saving the courts at one point. So that was a big media deal as well. Also in the chat, I wanted to jump up here. Miss Erica Felt says, where did I just lost her? What she says. It feels like this event was a spur of the moment optics event that backfired. It does feel like very spur of the moment. That's what I remember. Tony Johnson said, now I'm hearing Sherman got Bryant Center taken away from him. Yeah, that's what we heard as well. Also, Stuart, Brother Knight, he talked about the big games, but Cheryl Weston is in the chat. Good morning to you. Appreciate you coming in. She said, this is a takeover from Sherman Wells and the attempt of the Empowerment Network, Omaha Police Department, going around pushing their falsies,
I think it's falsies.
About how they are keeping the crime rate down. Interesting. Von Chapman says, whose vision do they want? The city and philanthropists or the community? It's a very good question.
Right.
Also, brother, I'm sorry, Wanda Lewis says Sherman and his crew thought the alley was all dirt, though the alley was all dirt until they dug it out. Yes, I forgot about that. They went and cleaned up the alley as well.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, there was concrete throughout the area, throughout the entire alley, cleaned up the area. They'd done a lot of work at the Bryant Center. So they didn't just throw events there. They also did a bunch of work cleaning it up. If you can imagine, the Bryant Center had been left in such disarray that even all the concrete and the sidewalks and everything else was covered in dirt, so much so that you thought it was a dirt path. So they came and cleaned them dirt paths up and found concrete and walkways underneath it, and really promoted it as well. So really interesting. Miss Erica Phil says, I worked at the Boys and Girls Club in the early 2000s. It was locked up then. So that there's been big periods of it being locked up.
Majority of my life.
More recently, it's been open. It's been open since 2000, like you said, 2015, 16. It seems like there's been a lot more activity there as well. And then for it to end up like it did with Sherman Wells, really, really concerning, especially with these kind of look like pop-up police events and stuff like that going on over there now. So it's unfortunate, and I would like to. We're still working on getting Brother Barney on. Love to ask some questions about this particular thing too. That would be a question that I would add into the list of questions that I have. What's happening with the Bryant Center? What's happening with that area? What's going on with this love thy neighbor situation with the cops? Mm-hmm. Are they a part of that? Do they know anything about it? It's interesting. Brother Knight says, I grew up on 25th and Patrick, right around the corner from the center. It's been very important and pivotal place in North Omaha. They talk about 24th and Lake Street a lot, being an entertainment district and now historical district. But down there at 24th and Grant, the Bryant Center is a huge part of the community as well. There's really no other basketball courts like it that's in the community in that way. Or space around it for people to do anything. So it's a very important spot. It seems like it should be controlled by the community. That's what it seems like it should be controlled by.
I mean, even if the community isn't controlling it, I mean, I do understand that this is property of this, St. Benedict's Church.
How long has it been? I got questions about that too. Has it always been purchased? Has it always been their property, or did they purchase it at some point? Did they purchase it to shut it down for years? Like what's the deal?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But why aren't they working more with the community? What is going on? And furthermore, that's kind of why we're here to have this conversation, because big shout out to Matt Wynn and everybody at the Nebraska Flatwater Free Press.
Mm-hmm.
But this is kind of missing the point. This article it's speaking as if there wasn't any activity going on at the Bryant Center before Josh Jones came, and that's
Well,
not true.
that's what we hope our partnership will will grow to in the future. Where it would be kind of hard for Flatwater Free Press as an organization to get the story from the community in the same way that we
Right.
do, and that's what we would like to add to that next time they approach that subject. But I can understand why this Josh Jones story was there. It makes sense to me that if he's a figure that the powers that be right now have asked to come and do something about saving that situation. That's definitely part of this story. It's a really interesting part too, of why he's being asked and why people in the community haven't. Maybe they have. I don't know. I'm just saying it don't seem like they have.
Well, to that point, sister Kimra Snipe in the comments asking that same very question. She says, "Love thy neighbor. Did they involve neighborhood associations?" Sounds like no.
And Kimra, this is what I'm thinking when you say that. I'm thinking this. Like Kimra's the only person I know that is trying to bring the police and stuff into these meetings, these neighborhood meetings and stuff that she has. Like she's the one that is trying to bridge that gap more than anybody else that we know. And so if she didn't know about this, it's interesting to me. Like who didn't, who in the community knew about this? Who in the community knew? So, when Brother Barney comes on, we'll see we'll see if he knew. We'll see if he was a part of that. We'll see if he has any insights on that, inside information there. And I'd love to have Brother Wells back on too to talk about what's progressed since he's been on here last with that situation. We'll see.
Yeah, and I also would like to point out the fact that after the whole saga and the split of Untamed and the Bryant Center, and Brother Wells went to the BAA and has been working closely with them and has pledged to do the same activities on their land, and it's kind of seemed like there's a split. I'm just making an observation. It seems like there's a split between the grassroots community organizers and the quote unquote powers that be, as far as the Omaha Police Department and organizations that work closely with them. Why? I don't understand why Sherman Wells had to leave. I don't understand why the activities that he was doing couldn't be supported and added on to or teamed up with. Like, where is the collaboration?
That's a good question. Wanda Lewis says they have plans to renovate the St. Benedict Center as well. They also own Bryant Center. It all belongs to the church. Mike Maroney is a member of that church. Some conclusions. Vaughn Chapman says what's happening with Bryant Center and Josh Jones is the same thing that happened to Love's Jazz with Dana Murray. Things that make Buddy go is the question. All these questions we have. And it's interesting what's going to happen with Native Omaha Days coming up. Matter of fact, there's some kind of stuff floating around on Facebook. I don't know if you guys heard, but they're trying to act like Native Omaha Days is canceled.
Really?
I've been hearing some things.
Somebody did mention in the chat that the website was down.
Does anybody know anything about this? We got to look into it because it is some rumors floating around Facebook, and then I've heard even people responding to the rumors like, "We gonna be out there anyway, whether it's canceled or not." I mean, I'm even hearing talk like that. So, what's really going on with the neighborhood here? Why are we so confused about it when we talk about it as much as we do? So, questions. I got questions and concerns, like Michelle Trostler always says. I got questions and concerns.
Man,
all the answers come from the past. No new tactics. Tony Johnson says there were some youngsters in Texas spreading that. What are you talking about on that?
You talking about the Omaha Days being canceled?
Oh, really? Okay. Kimber Snipe says, "Where is Juanita Johnson? She leads the neighborhood group down here, doesn't she? Don't she?" Yeah, shit. Good question. As a matter of fact, I do have a contact that is put me in touch with her as well. She has expressed that she wants to be on the show, and so we're trying to make that happen too. So we'll hopefully talk to Juanita Johnson as well before we get out of here this season.
Yeah, hopefully. But again, just more questions. Seems like more disorganization going on in the community, and trying to get to the bottom of it. Why?
Yeah, and before we get out of here, it is 7:40 right now. We already spent a lot of time on this one, if you believe in
Yeah,
concept
yeah,
of time. But everybody has a lot to say. I think everybody has a strong feeling about the Bryant Center, about what Sherman Wells and those guys are doing, about just what the community in general is doing in order to engage the community. That's what really this is all about. There's tons of nonprofits all around. There's tons of organizations. There's tons of programs going on, and it seems like still a big struggle just to get people together and get people to work together and get people, or have something for the youth, especially. I remember Brother King talking about this all the time, talking to William King over at 95.7 The Boss. He's always talking about what is there out here for the youth?
man.
What are we doing for the youth out here in our neighborhoods? And we are partners with the BAA, the Black Agenda Alliance, who's got the flag football and got all kinds of other programs that they got going on too. You want to talk about people a specific organization doing something for the youth? We can say they are, but who else can we say that about? Now that Brother Wells and them aren't over there at Bryant Center, I know they got stuff coming. Brother Wells, I know him well enough to know he got stuff coming. But what's going on?
Mm.
Wanda Lewis says the original Native Omaha founders as a new building and they're back on the scene, said it's not canceled. Okay. So there was somebody saying it was canceled. Now the Native Omaha people are saying it's not. Tonight Patterson says, as soon as somebody stubbed their toe, Mayor going to shut Native Omaha Days down.
Duh.
Police already establishing the presence again down there with these weekend things happening. Yeah, nothing on the Nona page, Tony Johnson said.
A little further down in the chat, Marlon Harrison coming in. Precious McKesson. He says Precious McKesson said Native Omaha Days is not canceled and stop believing the rumors. But I'm kind of along the lines of Mama God. She says, "How do you cancel Native Omaha Days? Impossible."
Come on, man. And why would they be saying that?
Like, like who can say don't come to the city, don't meet up at parks, don't go to your family's house, don't join up as a community? That's canceled. You can't do that. Like, who's to say that?
I mean, but there is also the other side of it where there's how they shut the street down for the parade. They have to have permits for everybody to have their booths out. They have to work with the police to be out there. They got to do all these official things in order to make Native Omaha Days happen as well. So what's happening there? Let's move on, man, because obviously this is something that we can talk about the whole show. We appreciate everybody who is joining us right now. Black Dynamite saying top of the morning, y'all. What's going on, bro? Appreciate you coming on through. Thanks for everybody that has joined us. A lot of people are checking us out today on this News Monday. It is Monday the 12th, June the 12th, 2023. And we are here with the last week of season 5. If you're just joining us, First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Hey, Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, hit the like button if you're over there on YouTube, like Arrows 402 said. And also, if you're on Facebook, do us a favor, share the show so we can get as many people in the chat as possible so that we can have a conversation, have more of a conversation. I really appreciate you guys putting all the energy into the chat real right here. Really appreciate that. Wanda Lewis saying the only thing they could stop if they wanted to would be the parade. Mm-hmm. Right. Kimmerer Snipes says, I'm putting on an event with Jackson's Fair Deal that Friday on the Deuce. Details to come. Okay. Let us know what's going on in the Haps there for sure. Mm-hmm. You feel like taking a quick break, or you want to jump into the next article here?
Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and take a quick break. Smell the coffee beans, come back and jump into this housing conversation. Again, our partners over at Nebraska Examiner dropping some information. So yeah, let's take a quick break. Just about 15 minutes left into the hour. Don't touch that dial.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll be right back, y'all. Stay tuned. welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I'll be the dove, Buddi3 Da Gawd. All of you,
Yeah.
Chad Chimers, Ghost listeners, radio listeners. Yeah. What's happening? Everybody. Monday. Still feeling the case of the Mondays a little bit.
Man,
but
heavy.
Definitely waking up. Supposed to be a good day. Supposed to be a nice weather day today.
Hey.
Hopefully enjoy that. I know it's been a little rainy here the past couple of days and weird weather, but I'll take it. It's not blazing hot yet, and it's not freezing cold. So got to take what you can take. Let us know what you guys did over the weekend. If you hit any of those events that we talked about Friday on the Haps, anything that were you guys out on the Deuce this weekend? Let us know what you observed from all these things that we're talking about going on at Bryant Center and the corner of 24th and Lake. Let us know what's happening there. You ready for what's coming up with Juneteenth, Native Omaha Days, all that good stuff? I would love to get some more clarification on what's going on with the parade and everything. I'd love to know what's going on. So let us know if you guys know who the people are we should be talking to as well. And that's kind of what's going on with us. A couple more days here in season 5 before we're on the break. In the middle of July, we'll come back with season 6. Lots of new stuff going on, and I can't wait to share it all with you guys. But thank you guys for joining us again this morning on this Monday. The way I was feeling, I was like, I wonder if anybody else is feeling like I'm feeling this Monday morning.
Man.
But y'all showing up, so I really appreciate you bringing the energy, like Buddy said earlier, for sure.
Yeah, man, we need it.
How you feeling over there, buddy? I forgot to ask you this morning before we got going.
Tired, boss. Tired. Not physically tired, not like sleepy, but just emotionally, mentally, I need a break.
I hear that.
I'm going to own it.
That's what's up. What you gonna do for the break? What you gonna do for that?
Well, of course, I'll be there. I'm coming in next week. So looking forward to spending some time with the fam bam. Seeing Mama God, seeing Papa God. Seeing the cousins and things like that. Of course, maybe checking out some of these events we've been talking about. We've been, we always do the haps and everything. I'm like, man, I want to check out some of these events. So just looking forward to seeing the city. It's been about a year since I've been there. I came across they just opened a ConAgra campus, some development down there in the ConAgra area. Definitely want to go check out the Luminarium. Still really haven't even seen the Jean Leahy Mall area since they opened it. Haven't been to the Steel House. So, there's a lot of, just exploring I got to do of the city. And of course, chilling with the fam.
That's what's up.
So beyond that, I don't really know. I'm still thinking about going out to Vegas. I'll be honest, man. Pops keep sending that love from Vegas. I'm like, man, I might need to step out there.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at that. I don't know if I'm gonna be around for the fight, but I'm gonna definitely go out. Gonna check Pops out here in a minute. And also my aunt, my cousins are out there too, and I haven't really hung with them in a while. And missed them too. Last time I was out there for my cousin's wedding was last year, I guess now. So yeah, man. So I'm kind of looking forward to definitely taking a little trip, traveling. The journey of traveling definitely helps with that mental stress level for me. Sometimes I just need to get back to the hometown. Really, like being back in the hometown really does something for me too. So being back on the West Coast, being back in California, hitting the beach,
man,
spending time with the fam, yucking it up, laughing with the fam.
That part.
Yeah. We need some of that. We need some of that. For sure.
Yeah, man. I also I just came across something like somebody was saying when you fly, actually try not to sleep during your flights because something about the high altitude enhances the brain activity. Like the brain responds to the body being at such a high altitude and your creative juices and thinking kind of at a heightened sense. So I am looking forward to, just doing some thinking, doing some reading, doing some reflecting during my flight back to Omaha.
My brain reflects on the prayer that I'm saying the whole time I'm up in the air. So yes,
that part,
brain activity for sure.
That part, a little food can help the brain as well. Shout out to everybody in chat talking about some food. That woman says I went to childcare training 2 Saturdays ago. That was catered by Fair Deal. Every single bite was amazing. My taste buds are hypersensitive after chemo. The fresh foods I enjoyed it maybe too much. Maybe. Also,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna say Rome's review in the chat also says Ali Taco 402 by CeeLo the Don. He says Friday dinner was delicious. So
I haven't
Okay.
heard of this one. How is there a taco place I have not heard of yet?
Hey,
Gotta see what's
add to
up.
the list.
Oh, Sean McCarthy said he went to the steampunk tea party. That's what's up. I forgot about that.
Nice.
Yeah, steampunk tea party was super cool. Appreciate the report back on that. That's what's up, man. Love House of Afro Capes and Curls. Yeah, when I was driving down 24th Street on Saturday, man, I saw a sign out in front of Fair Deal said something about some smothered pork chops.
Mm.
Oh, wait a minute. I gotta stay off that. I'm trying to stay off that pork. Let me.
Yeah. Can't
But I
can't do the
almost wrecked the
swine.
car trying to turn around and get to that restaurant, man.
Can't do the swine, my brother.
So smother something else, but I'm gonna come for some smother something over there.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to the brothers that are putting it down at the Fair Deal, man. I'm glad that it's happening again. You know what I'm saying? Jackson's Fair Deal, real food, real fast.
Mm.
The brothers putting it down. So I'm glad to see that activity back over there on the Deuce for sure. Another iteration of the Fair Deal Cafe, but these brothers sound like they here to stay. So we'll see.
Yeah. Definitely looking forward to what Sister Kimra has in store with them. But yeah. Moving forward, man. Let's jump into some news. And talk about some housing things. Definitely a conversation that we continue to have here on the show. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Definitely let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard on this situation. Again, looking at millions of dollars, more money, as Senator Wayne has been reminding us. There are lots of opportunities, lots of pots of money, if you will, around the state. And we're trying to keep up with all of it. And apparently, there's another fund that we should look out for: the Middle Income Workforce Housing Investment Fund, which was actually created by the legislature in 2020. And apparently, there is funds or money in this fund for housing. The Nebraska nonprofits, or excuse me, 3 Nebraska nonprofits have been awarded a total of $7.5 million from this fund to create more affordable housing in urban parts of the state. Our favorite buzzword. Roughly $10 million now has left, or excuse me, is left in the fund that aims to expand housing in older and higher minority neighborhoods in Douglas, Sarpy, and Lancaster counties. That's according to State Senator Tony Vargas. Vargas said that he would like to see the Department of Economic Development disperse the funding quicker to better meet growing demand. He also says he is disappointed in Governor Jim Pillen, who successfully vetoed legislation that would have added another $20 million to the fund, and also another $20 million to fund and devoted to building rural housing. He says this is about economic development for the working and middle class, adding that he would continue to push to add more funding for housing programs. DED administers the Middle Income Housing Fund through a competitive application process. Winning recipients in the latest round were Habitat for Humanity, who received $5 million. Also, Holy Name Housing Corporation, who received $2 million, and Nebraska Housing Resource, which received $500,000 for Lincoln. I would like to point out that Habitat for Humanity and Holy Name Housing Corp both represent the Omaha area, and specifically Holy Name Housing Corp represents Eastern Omaha, which of course is north and south. I would also like to point out that Habitat for Humanity and Holy Name Housing Corp are the 2 main organizations that get just about 70 to 80% of the property owned by the land bank. So very interesting that a lot of the housing resources are kind of piled up under these 2 organizations.
I'm glad you said it. I came back on because I was like, let me make sure he say.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna put that out.
I know we thinking that. So yeah, that's very interesting too. So I would like to know, of course, where the money comes from. You know, we answered that question, but also where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Is the other follow the money part. So that would be interesting to see. And I like in the article where they talked about the organizations that they would love to see this money get to people faster. And not have a whole bunch of hoops to have to jump through and all that kind of stuff. Like get the money to them faster, but get the money to who, and how do you benefit from that, from Holy Name? And we already know a little bit about how you benefit from Habitat from Humanity. They've been a little bit more open than Holy Name about what's going on there. But yeah, it's interesting dichotomy there when you think about the fact that that's the name you see all the time buying up the land bank land. So
yeah, it is very interesting. Not to mention that the DED is the ones that's in control of this. Like how much resources does the DED really have, and why aren't we as a community, as a people, aware? They're apparently handing out millions of dollars, and there's 10 million left.
And there's several, and they talked about several nonprofit organizations, but they're kind of the usual suspects. Sounds like to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Von Chapman in the chat says the emphasis on so-called affordable housing is for philanthropic investors that in reality prevent generations wealth amongst the purposefully disadvantaged and promote dependency on the powers that be. Yeah. Um, Tony Johnson says, what have they done for North Omaha in past? It's a good question. Land bank partners, all I need to know. Neighborhood associations should be protesting land bank. I mean, it feels like it's getting towards that. For me too, it's getting towards this. Somebody got to speak up about what's happening. That's going to be one of my number one questions if we when we talk to Juanita Johnson, Councilwoman Juanita Johnson, because like why every year we got to talk about what the land bank is doing like that? Like it doesn't seem like they have been doing what their tenet is to do. It seems more like just a way to gather up a bunch of land to get to developers or something like that. Like,
no, it definitely felt like just a shell corporation. That's all it felt like, was a shell, and a pass through, and not really a resource, especially for the community.
Yeah. Thanks for your comments on that. We'll definitely keep on talking about it. Keep an eye on it until we can figure out some kind of action to take there. Like I said, the first thing is to maybe have a conversation with Councilwoman Juanita Johnson about it, and then find what you need to do to qualify for any of those funds that are coming through those organizations at the very least as well.
Yeah, I'm actually posting. Here's a link to housing programs from the Department of Economic Development. Apparently they have all kinds of housing programs. So if you're interested, definitely check this out. I mean, there's a community block grant. There's apparently still American Rescue Plan funds to address the need for homelessness available. There's also a home program, home investment partnership fund. There's a lot. A lot of these. Some of them I heard, some of them I haven't heard of, which is very interesting. So.
Wanda Lewis is saying something interesting here. She says some people that are residing in Habitat housing are saying that Habitat no longer wants to sell their homes. However, residents are allowed to live there for 5 years.
Yeah, I have to kind of go back to see what it was, but I did come across a housing program that only allowed up to 20 years. Like there's no long-term ownership of housing. It seems like a lot of the quote unquote affordable housing programs are just starter projects or pass-through projects, as far as like again, I have to find what program it was, but it said that those who move into the housing can only stay for a maximum of 20 years, which is very interesting that you're putting a cap on how long somebody can live in a house.
Yeah, because now I'm confused. I thought these programs were there for you to be able to purchase these houses.
Me too. So imagine my surprise to see, as I read through some of the requirements and some of the stipulations, that there was a cap. And again, what Sister Wanda Lewis is saying, only 5 years. That's not long. And so after these 5 to 20 years, what are you supposed to do? Where are you supposed to go?
Okay, it's kind of got me a little hot. Von Chapman says neighborhood associations should be protesting at this land bank, OPS, and anything the city is doing to denigrate their community. Neighborhood associations should be protesting at the land bank. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to spur us looking more into Habitat. I thought that was kind of a thing that we had some knowledge on already, and I'm already feeling like, did we get hoodwinked by what we learned from it? And then, of course, we never really got to talk to anybody at Holy Name, which we've been seeing since before Flatwater Free Press even existed.
Yeah, I did do a little research on just what is Holy Name, who is Holy Name, and it is basically what the name implies as far as a housing. It's individuals from the Holy Name community, neighborhood association, that came together and formed this program or organization, really. And that's kind of what I'm gathering mostly from this. Like, if you're not a part, if you're an individual, then good luck. Like if you have to be a part of some kind of larger body, some kind of larger organization, some kind of larger something to really get anything done.
That's
Which,
foul. That's foul. I don't like it.
so yeah, if you're an individual trying to just get a home for your family, then it's not looking good, especially through the land bank. Again,
Mm.
organizations are the only ones getting the property, and I thought the land bank was an organization to get the property to individuals. So I don't know. Is it something that we're missing? Yeah, I'm right there along with you, brother Von Chapman. In the chat, it says this all appears to be designed to prevent generational wealth. That's what I'm thinking.
Wanda Lewis says, when I read the block grant application, it's stated if there are business collaborations in a single structure, a single business can only make low to moderate income. If they rise above that, they will have to leave the building and give somebody else a chance. Cameron Snipe says, that's an exact fact, buddy. When I teach people about direct action organizing, I always tell them to take at least 15 to 25 people with them when it's time to have a meeting with the decision maker.
Man. Yeah. Which I'm trying to sort through. Like, is it on the people to organize, or should it just be easier for the individual?
Well, I mean, should be, and what the reality is two different things.
Word.
8:02 right now, if you believe in the concept of time. You're in the second hour now, first Sky Omaha in the morning.
Sound like a lost for words, bro.
Yeah. I'm not happy with what we just learned and a few things going on here too. But I appreciate everybody that is here and in chats with us, and talking about some things that's going on here, and having an opinion on some things, and also some facts and some research that you're bringing as well on these subjects. This is definitely an ongoing subject with us, especially when it comes to housing. Really, really kind of blown away on this Habitat for Humanity thing. That's kind of a trip. Kimberly Snipe says it's not fair that the people making decisions don't really prioritize one person, but it's the reality.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Erica Fell says what Miss Wanda said about an income cap means there will be a cliff that if they make too much, they'll be unserved when kicked out. Incentive to not earn more.
Yeah, it's poverty pimping is what it is. It's poverty pimping. Where are the ladders to get out of poverty? Not programs to make poverty easier. How do you get out of poverty? Where are those programs? Where's that ladder? Where are those steps? Where's the assistance for that? Because it seems like every program that assists those in poverty, you have to stay in poverty to get the program.
Oof, man. Kimber Snipe says that's why organizing is important, yet you haven't seen a lot of investment in actual community organizing, which is why neighborhood associations are so important, because it's the closest thing. Definitely agree. Definitely we have to bolster the neighborhood associations more, get some more people in those associations. Maybe those are the action they should be the action organizations to the things that we're trying to wrap our heads around. Wanda Lewis says, seems as though we're limited in more ways than one, housing and business. Marianne Williams in the chat, good morning, says, I guess I've never thought that land bank was for individuals, but it is an opportunity to scrutinize who gets the land. Yeah, it was supposed to be, the land bank was supposed to be there for people in the community to easily buy up some of the land in their own communities to build and to, get to the point where they can have some ownership. And it definitely has swung more to developers than it has individuals. It could, I've heard the excuse that a lot of individuals weren't ready for that. There's stipulations. You can get some land for cheap, but you got to have a plan on what to build on it and the money to do so. And if you don't have that in the first place, then you don't even qualify for the land. And so they've been sitting on stuff for a lot of years, a lot of stuff that they don't even have listed on their website. And so, it would probably naturally start going to other developers and other entities that are out there that have the money and the resources to do that. So interesting. Amy H. No Dot says Heart Ministries' focus is wealth building. We have no income requirements. So there's some organizations out there that can help. Appreciate you putting that out there. Definitely in the grand scheme of this story, need to look into what Heart Ministries is doing more as well.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I did an article on Heart Ministries Pantry during the pandemic, and I will say they helped everybody, any and everybody that pulled up through that parking lot were given a bag of food or a box of food. And if I'm not mistaken, Heart Ministries has the largest pantry in the city, if not the state.
All right. Marianne Williams says, yes, please ask other state senators why they think providing more SNAP is helping POCs. It's an interesting comment. Okay. Kimmer Snipes says, I thought the land bank was supposed to be like I've seen other land banks. I've met the new director now a couple of times. I'm still waiting on that meeting invite. What have you seen with other land banks? Let us know that. Tony Johnson said, do they attend land bank meetings? Question. Vaughn Chapman, Kimmer, Precious, Juanita, where y'all at? Yeah, I mean, ask them directly, Brother Chapman. They're here. Marianne Williams says, yes, SNAP is important, but it doesn't change poverty in the way other programs can. Okay. Mama got, what you thought? What food was good? And, you talk about Fair Deal?
Yeah. What you talking about?
Miss Cheryl Weston in the chat says, North Omaha needs to be at these land bank meetings. North Omaha has no true representation. Gentrification is quietly taking place through the Omaha Land Bank. If you want to save North Omaha, get up. Call to action.
Man.
Call to action there. We can go on and on with this one. We'll move on from here too, but appreciate everybody that's jumped into. Oh, Heart Ministries food was good. Okay, that's what's up. She said, and the food was good too.
Oh yeah.
Heart Ministries, that's what's up. Yeah. Appreciate
also Kimmer giving us a quick. She says, I visited a home built by the land bank in Columbus, Ohio. It was beautiful and getting ready to be have a family move in it, and they had several other homes the same way.
So did the family move in it? Were they given the home? Are they given a chance to buy the home? And you said the land bank built the home. That's different from our land bank for sure. They're not building any homes.
That part.
Amy H. Dot says, they're public meetings, I believe. No invite necessary. I'll try to sign up for to document the next one. Nice.
Yeah, they are public meetings. I've been to one. I covered a few as I was reporting on it. Yeah, they're public. They're open.
Yeah. Right on. Appreciate everybody. She said, Wanda Lewis says, Cheryl Weston has not missed a land bank meeting. That's who you should talk to. Yeah. Love to talk to you. Love to talk to you about those things. Obviously, we gotta get in it. I mean, it's one of those other things that really affect our community in a big way, because a lot of the lands, a lot of the empty lots, a lot of the pieces that are small pieces here and there, scattered, peppered throughout North and South Omaha, are controlled by them. They kind of picked all those up and under a certain premise. And I don't know anybody who bought a piece of land bank land and built something on it yet.
Neither do I. And I was reporting on it, and I was very hard pressed to find anybody. Again, Holy Name Housing Corp and Habitat for Humanity. They're the only ones that are getting the properties, which again is the reason why I felt like it was a shell corporation.
Interesting. Right now, let's go ahead and move on from this. Appreciate everybody's comments on it. If you have more, definitely let us know. I just want to reiterate a little bit on Friends of First Sky Omaha. It's also where we continue the conversation when we're not live. It's not really the place to preach or put your ideologies out there. If you have articles that you have placed there, please give us the reason why you've placed it, how it's relevant in the conversation. Start the conversation with it instead of just dropping headlines in. And from different sources, and then maybe even explain why you chose some of the sources you chose. I know there's some articles on the Friends of First Sky Omaha page right now that are from some right-wing organizations,
foreign papers and
all kinds of things. First of all, is that what you are getting your news from? Second of all, let us know the reason why you're posting those articles on there. We have not been able to do much going through the page as far as what's the word I'm looking for? Moderation.
Yep.
We haven't been able to moderate the page the way that we want to. We're looking for friends and volunteers to help us kind of moderate some of those pages a little bit. But the way that we would try to moderate the pages is instead of just taking down stuff, we want to kind of pose the questions. What's the reason behind this article that you're dropping? Where's your sources? So on and so forth. So it is supposed to be a place where we can gather some news, and we kind of all have to act as citizen reporters when we're on that page. So yeah, definitely, if you're dropping an article on the page, let us know where your sources are from. Let us know the reason for you dropping that article, how it's relevant to the ongoing conversations that we're having here too. So just a little PSA about Friends of First Sky Omaha. Appreciate that very much. Kimber Snipe says, sorry, I'm the queen of dropping articles. I guess I felt like if you read it, you get it. Yeah, but let us know why it appealed to you. Just give us a little comment on the reason why you're dropping that article and where you're getting the article from and so on.
Some context.
Yeah, a little context would be nice. Also, that woman says, when I looked at land bank properties a couple years ago, a requirement was to show how you would make it benefit the community and how you pay for that. Right. You have to have a plan on something being built on that land. Or, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a house. I guess you can build a community garden or something like that on that land. So I'm not really sure all the requirements. I looked at it at one point, and it's been a long time since I looked at it last. But it'd be interesting to see what those requirements are. But it's not just like you can just pick up some of that land. That sometimes goes for $4,000, $3,000. I mean, sometimes you can buy a plot for pretty cheap. But you buy that's what the land bank is there for, is scooping this stuff up, making it affordable for the community to pick up this land and do something on it. But you got to have a plan. You got to have the money for the plan to do something on it. So again, if I was thinking I'm going to get some land bank land and build a house, I got to have the money to build a house. Mm-hmm. Can't just buy the land, sit on it.
Right. And if the land bank isn't for it, or individuals, like, why are they own so much of the land? It's kind of impossible for individuals to get any of the land. It's also a hurdle.
Gwen Easter, good morning, says last Tuesday the city planning department held hearing about 75 North. Housing Authority and City of Omaha plan to put 39 so-called affordable unit apartment buildings on the Martin Luther King property. Neighborhood homeowners voiced their concern about how it would affect their home taxes and traffic safety for children on their street. The board acknowledged their concerns and then vote to approve the apartments.
Sounds about right.
I mean, it's a shame that I got to go at least they had some people there that voiced their opinions, because that don't always happen either.
Right.
Kimber Snipe says, I just want to reiterate the opportunity you have as a business at the Empowerment Network conferences. So many people buying stuff. Oh, interesting.
Okay.
So let us know how the Empowerment Network meeting went. I was going to ask you about that. We'll save it for when you come on Wednesday. You can let us know there, but definitely want to know what happened there. Give us a little report from there. I know that you took some notes on what went down. I saw that you posted posted about Precious getting some accolades. So definitely would like to hear from anybody who went to the Empowerment Network. Did you get a chance to talk to Magic? Let us know what happened there for sure. Mm-hmm. Kimber Snipe says that you should consider being a vendor if you have a business. Tanaya Patterson says the city is sitting on the land for corporations. They will make the individual jump through hoops and still deny you. We always talk about the hoops that you got to jump through in order to receive any of these programs. Tons of programs out there, to the point where I stopped looking at, me personally, I just stopped looking at programs. There's just so many hoops all the time. I'm just like, I'll just go do it myself. You know what I mean? It's already a thing to try to want to take advantage of the programs that are out there. But if you got to go through a bunch of mess to do it, then you got to balance out the energy it would take to just go to do your own plan, or to go through all these hoops for some kind of hookup. I don't know. It always weighs the other direction for me because of that. And it could just be me, my attitude against what's going on with the programs. I guess if I was looking at buying a house, I probably should look into all the programs available.
Mm-hmm.
Same time, I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, my mind's kind of blown right now about Habitat. I don't know. Vaughn Chapman says, when you look at just how the city obtained the property in the land bank, that entire process is suspect.
It's a good question.
Yeah. 8:16 right now, if you believe in the concept of time. Let's move on to some other subjects here before we get out of here. There's about 45 minutes left in the show. Again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul
Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you, Chad Chimers, Ghost listeners, and radio listeners as well. We'll take a quick break and we'll come right back and jump into a couple more stories. Yeah. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back. Man, First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah, I'm trying to get right near the beach. That's what I need. That's what I need right now, to get right near the beach.
Toes in the sand. Don't sound bad.
Toes down. It's going down. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the wonderful comments that you guys are presenting to us today. Everybody is real hyped in the chat. Lots of listeners. Really appreciate that. Ghost listeners, I see you out there. Appreciate y'all too. Most definitely. Spread the word. Tell a friend. Share the show. Do everything. Do all those things, man. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. All those things. We definitely got some more material that we've been putting together that's coming out. And it's going to be on the YouTube channel and also a channel that we are sponsoring as well. So lots to come here in the next season. Got a lot of work to do over the break. We got one more week until the break. As a matter of fact, this is the last week before the break.
Yeah.
Juneteenth coming up next week. So lots going on. Of course, we'll be talking about it in the haps. But one of the things I'm really looking forward to is the Joy Fest, man. Juneteenth Joy Fest is going down on the 17th, Saturday from 12 to 10. You're just going to be out there just chilling kind of all day. 24th and Ohio Street in Omaha. Poetry, music, dance, all kinds of stuff going on, man. Celebration. So really looking forward to some of those things that are happening as well, and Juneteenth celebrations and things that are going down. And of course, we'll talk more about that in the haps. But yeah, lots going on right now coming up. Let us know what your plans are for next week for Juneteenth. Interesting situation we had over here at Benson Theater, man. We Benson Theaters takes Juneteenth. Juneteenth is now a national holiday as of, what was it, last year or year before?
Yeah, recently.
And it's interesting the transition that people are trying to make to making that a day you take off, national holiday, just like Christmas and everything else. A lot of businesses aren't doing that. As a matter of fact, there's been some controversial stuff floating around on the social medias of organizations that are like, that's my free work day. We don't take that day off. That's what I'm saying. Like, interesting how people have positioned themselves with that. Benson Theater, though, as soon as it became a national holiday, it was like, yeah, we take it off every year. So we had an organization that was coming in, renting the space, had to let them know, sorry, we ain't working that Monday. And they complied and they were fine, and that was great. But it was a little bit of a question about whether or not it was going to be a thing because it's still brand new. So, but Juneteenth, yes, June 16th is the holiday. It is the day that you take off of work, just like every other holiday that you take off of work. And if your company's not doing that, ask them why. You take off Christmas, you take off
Columbus Day,
President's Day, all that. Yeah, there you go. Mama God said, buddy, aren't you here for Juneteenth?
No.
Day after?
Yeah. I'll come in the 21st, I think. So
Oh man, you
I'll
gonna miss
be.
Joy Fest?
Yeah, man. I'm kind of upset about that. I was, yeah, definitely would like to have seen, seen the homie, seen Rex Life Raj, seen Music Soul Child, and yeah,
Man,
I definitely would love to have come to the festivities. Again, that's why I say I'm definitely gonna do some exploring and try to catch some events in the city. I think College World Series will be going on. I'm not sure what's going on in the community, but yeah, I'll be there. Just not for Juneteenth. I actually be walking in the parade down here for Juneteenth. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Michelle Weston in the chat says grand opening today for Queen's Butterfly House at 1911. I'm sorry, it says 1811 Emmett at 1 o'clock. Okay, Queens is for women who have been incarcerated. Purpose provide them with a safe place, resources, and employment opportunities. That's what's up.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, with
That's
that
dope.
Queen's Butterfly House on Emmett Street. Where is Emmett Street at? I'm trying to think of where. I'm trying to picture that. 1811 Emmett Street. Okay. Well, that's what's up though. Queens Butterfly House grand opening today at 1 o'clock. I like that. Purpose provide them with a safe place, resources, and employment opportunities. Anything that goes to, reentry is a big deal. Especially for the previously incarcerated. When you come out and you need the support and resources to get back in and do the thing that you need to do for yourself and your family. You need help. I mean, we need help. The people that aren't incarcerated be needing help. So we I
Mhm.
can't imagine coming out with no resources. So I'm glad when any of those kinds of things pop up. That's what's up.
Yeah. Yeah. Also in the chat, that woman asking some good questions. She says, "What happened to the all the temp and day labor companies? Omaha used to have a lot. There
Hmm.
used to be a day labor company on Cummings." She says, "I worked there a few times. A guy from Oakland worked there and paid me to drive workers when I was a new mom. Talking about opportunities for women." She also says the majority of service jobs, including childcare and retail in this country, are done by Black people who won't get Juneteenth off. Well, more white people than Black have the day off. That's
Whoa.
interesting.
Wow. Mm. Okay. That's deep. That's very deep. Um, that's a good question. When I first got in town, there was I think I hooked up with a temp company for just grabbing some work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I
Mm-hmm.
remember correctly, when I first got in town, that was like that's funny, man. I talked to so many people that when they just come in town or just moved to Omaha or have moved away and moved back to Omaha, it's like we hit the temp agency, we hit the jitney, we got there's a couple little hustles to
Call center.
get you on your feet, the call center, and get you on your feet. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's true, man. It's been a while since I hit the temp agencies. I had a lot of family members that worked for temp agencies, and I haven't heard much about them anymore. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
That woman also says Emmett is a block over from Maple.
There you go. 2 blocks south of Pinckney and south of Coons Park.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
So in that area. Yeah. Any information on who's behind that Queen's Butterfly House?
Yeah,
Who's organizing that?
looks like we're definitely gonna have to have Miss Cheryl Weston on coming up in season 6. Seems to be a feet on the ground type of individual who's is doing putting in the work
Yeah.
and doing this and doing supports. Season 6 will definitely be about feet on the ground support and everything that's needed in order to take action. That's kind of what it comes down to here. So we'll be talking a lot more in season 6 to the BAA. We'll definitely be talking. We're working on a little segment with Brianna Full, so we can get some reports from OPS, and there's people, and then working more with documenters who are kind of spreading out in the areas that we've been talking about as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even right here on this show today, Amy H. Dot says she's going to look into doing some document work. Hopefully through documenters on some of the things that we're talking about, the land bank meetings. So it'd be really, really nice to be able to have that source. We were looking at the news. It's News Monday, and we're looking at the news today. Like, what happens when the news ain't talking about nothing?
Man.
What happens then? Well, what happens? One of the things that we are working on at First Sky is to create a news desk so that we can be generating our own news, our own headlines as well. And definitely working close with the documenters who are there doing a lot of that journalism work. Documenting what's going on with these meetings. We take that. We decipher, and try to present that for discussion. So lots of big plans in season 6 to move this thing to another level. Constantly moving towards understanding first, comprehension, understanding, conversation, planning, and then get into some action. So really would love to do that. Also, Amy H. Dot says Miss Weston also spoke passionately at the planning board meeting last week. Okay, what's up? Tony Johnson says, all due respect, can we get some different perspectives on Wednesday politics sessions? Sure. We definitely can. We definitely are about getting different perspectives. Let us know some of the perspectives you think would be good for us to talk to.
Yeah,
definitely check it out.
Kind of my question. Who would you like to see?
Cheryl Weston says, Dee Gaston is the founder, CEO, president of Queen's Butterfly. She spent over 20 years in and out of the prison system.
Okay. Sounds like we need to talk to her.
Yep. Very good question. Gwenny says, when's the next land bank meeting? We have to look that up for you. Miss Erica Phelps says, Fort St. Hy-Vee was given over. Yeah, I did see this online. Fort Street Hy-Vee was given over a half dozen Omaha black women permanent shelf space for their hair and body products, scents, really good children's books, purses, and more. Go shop, show them it's past due.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty interesting thing that they did there with that, giving them some shelf space. You can kind of go there and definitely go there and support. If you go there, especially if you go there anyway, to go to their shop, definitely support. Let them know that that's a good move they made there for sure.
Support. That actually reminds me also, is that gallery still up in Nebraska Furniture Mart? Remember they had the yellow and...
Yeah, no, it was just a pop up.
Okay.
For that time frame, but apparently they sold some stuff. That was turned out to be a really great partnership. I'd love to have somebody on that was participated there and talk about it a little bit. But people were able to use their Nebraska Furniture Mart credit cards to buy art from them sisters. So yeah, man, just like they buy anything else in the store. So that was one of the best events I've seen in a long time. They talked a lot about being in certain spaces, being in those spaces, being seen. And it was really apparent. I walked into the main building and looked around, and there was this pop of color and over on the side of just a yellow space that had all this colorful art inside of it. And when you juxtapose it to the rest of the space, you look around and everything looked like it was gray. All the furniture, all the decorations, the walls, everything. In comparison to that little pop-up spot, everything looked gray. And I just thought, man, they bringing some real flavor. There's no way that you can not be attracted to what's going on over there. They brought some serious flavor over there, man.
Some life.
Incredible. So I heard it was a successful event. Love to see more of that. Been getting heavy into the art community again recently. I just went to Vinton Street. They have a second Friday going on over there. So you hit first Fridays in Benson, second Friday on Vinton Street. A whole bunch of art, whole bunch of different kinds of places to go to, and just getting back and just kind of really getting back into the art scene and seeing who's doing what and where. It's really interesting. Hoff Center out in Iowa. I went there for a show and checked out some things. Some of the sisters was over there presenting their stuff. There's a lot of art going on. And of course, Union for Contemporary Art is a part of that, and generating a lot of that kind of stuff. But it's really the artists, man, that are really being shown. Public art all around town. You really drive around Omaha and see black art around town everywhere. And I would love for season 6 to bring some of those artists on and really feature them and show them, because I mean, like, there's no denying it. They're getting known all over Nebraska because of the stuff they're doing. So we'll definitely do that. Definitely do that. Let's move on. Thanks for everybody who's jumping into the chat and giving us some ideas here. It's coming up on 8:30 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, any other things that we needed to bring up here before we get to the haps?
Yeah, we do have some stories revolving around the children that we definitely have to get into. First Guy loves the kids. And so we're definitely continuing to look at what's going on. What support do they have? What resources do they have? And foster care is definitely one of the big ones that we've been looking out for. Of course, the whole St. Francis Ministries debacle that happened several years ago that really rocked Nebraska's foster care system and resulted in the state of Nebraska retaking over its foster care system for the Omaha and Lincoln areas. And now we're looking at exactly what is happening. How is Nebraska handling this transition? Our partners at Nebraska Examiner are reporting that there are some concerns still for Nebraska use in foster care, but yet there are some notes of progress in the area. So exactly what is going on? According to Nebraska Examiner, for kids in the child welfare system, being handed off to 5 or more different caseworkers is unacceptable and adds to the instability that they are already facing. However, that is the reality, according to the Nebraska Foster Care Review Office in its latest report. Yet, depending on the geographic service area, that is the case with between about 5% to 40% of use in the Nebraska foster care area. Statewide, mostly Douglas and Sarpy counties are the cases, but again, statewide, about 165 kids currently in the system have been transferred to a different caseworker at least 10 times. The caseworker turnover was among red flags raised in the latest quarterly report from the Foster Care Review Office, which is an independent state agency that monitors placement and well-being of more than 4,200 youths under court-ordered state care supervision. Monica Gross, who's the executive director of the Watchdog Office, says she has seen signs of progress, though in eastern Nebraska, since the state took the area's case management a year ago from, of course, St. Francis Ministries. The break with the Kansas-based contractor ended Nebraska's experiment with privatizing child welfare services. The Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services is now manages all cases throughout the entirety of the state. So again, that whole St. Francis project or experiment, what they're calling again privatizing child welfare services, was done on North Omaha and East Nebraska, and now they're stepping back. And it seems like one of the major red flags is continuing as far as case overload for case workers, which definitely leads to a decline in service and resources and really just care for the youth. According to this report, which was released this month, the number of foster children in Douglas and Sarpy counties who have dealt with 10 or more caseworkers range from 275 to 148. That's between December and April. And that change was encouraging, according to Gross, who said that though she said her staff to date had no clear and definitive explanation, I plan to delve more into the reason for the sudden decline again in those in state custody who were again moved from caseworker to caseworker. So again, still a lot of red flags, still a lot of questions as far as what's going on with our foster care situation. Of this year, from January to May, there were only 24 child case worker separations. So it does say that there may be a decline in that, but again, what's going on?
That was the Nebraska Examiner that put that out?
Yep. Cindy Gonzalez is the report.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Shout out to Cindy Gonzalez. That's what's up. I'm glad that she's kept up on this particular subject. Like I said, last time we really talked about it was when we were talking about the St. Francis situation. So yeah, that's interesting. Don't really know. You know, I was concerned about this. I actually thought it was going to be like this because we haven't heard any chatter about what they're doing to hire more folks to beef up anything. We just heard that the city took it back, and then that's the last we really heard of it. So I was afraid that it was going to still be the same case as far as like so many cases, kids just being shifted around like that and not really getting any real help, and still not having enough caseworkers in place to be able to help. So that's unfortunate. All this money that's out here, all these programs going on, all this money that they put into the jail systems and the juvenile justice systems and everything else, they can't hire enough caseworkers to take care of foster kids. It's pretty jacked up.
Yeah. And again, as I point out, the majority of the children impacted in this whole situation are children of East Nebraska, specifically Omaha and Lincoln, and more specifically North Omaha. Actually, according to this report, the good news is I'll start there. The good news is among their findings, a bulk of the youth that are in custody of DHHS have been placed in family-like, quote-unquote, least restrictive settings, and more than half of them are in a relative or kinship foster home. So again, they are under foster care of somebody who is close to the family. But one of the critical issues to be addressed in this whole conversation is regardless if it's the state, St. Francis Ministries, regardless of who it is, there is still an overwhelming amount of youth in these programs that are children of quote unquote color. Again, according to the report, children of color, quote unquote, continue to be overrepresented in a state of out of home custody compared to their representation in the general population of Nebraska. So again, it's still numbers disproportionate to our actual population. The um, uh, Foster, I'm sorry, this is giving me an acronym. I want to actually say it. The Foster Care Review Office. There you go. The Foster Care Review Office has updated and is actually recommending that the state create a racial disparities task force, which will investigate and propose solutions to structural inequities that lead to chronic stress and family separation. Task force members should look, the report said, at how racial and ethnic disparities in the child welfare and juvenile justice systems have quote unquote become intractable and are causing harm to children, families, and communities of color. Again, another study of what we know as racism. Let's just call it what it is, man.
They got to get this study on, though.
Yeah. But again, so many studies of racism. When are we just going to address the issue and call it what it is? Call a spade a spade.
Well, like Von Chapman in the chat is saying, why are so many in the foster care system? That's what we're saying in the first place. What's happening to address the underlying issues that create the problem?
Right.
Which we kind of really established, especially when we started doing the Follow the Money series about just the economic disparities. I mean, you're going to find these types of situations happening when you're when there's levels of poverty in certain areas. Then this is kind of some of that outcome. So it's you can peel it back to that. Yeah, it's a good question. Why so many kids in there in the first place? We're talking about trying to service and help the kids that are there by doing stuff like hiring more caseworkers and figuring out what company can handle it and so on and so forth. Same time, you got to do something about the reason why they're there in the first place, which is, it shouldn't be that there's so many. You don't know people's situation. You don't know what's going on, what's happening. It's hard to call because we really just want to care about the kids that need it. But at the same time, maybe less kids would need it if there was a less economic disparity in our neighborhoods. Maybe that is a factor in why things are like they are. Both things need to be, dealt with at the same time. But man,
yeah, I mean, why aren't families staying together? And specifically, the disproportionality of communities of quote unquote color.
Yeah. Brother Valadares is talking about the level of care that's in the foster care community. So it can be bad. Also, Tony Johnson said, "Remember when black churches were a refuge for displaced youth?" Amy H. Dot said, "Exactly, just band-aids. Get to the root issues for sure."
Hello.
Jim Crow strikes again. Brother Valadares, good morning. Yeah, there's a lot. The redlining and everything of the communities, all this stuff contributes to these things. But really, it's the economic development. A lot of. I want to peel back on that a little bit because I just watched some analysis by a couple of people that I'm getting into these days about the state of the black community. It's easy for us to say economic development, creating black wealth is how to solve everything. And I'm starting to peel back from that a little bit. I think that's part of it. It's definitely part of it, but it's not, we can easily create a bourgeoisie middle class of people that don't associate with people who are more or less well off than they are. That's happened in the past. That's been something that's been going on in the black community ever since, the house Negro, to be honest. So that exists as well. It's not just, pull yourself up and and if we're all making money, then everything's cool. Because there's always, especially in capitalist society, there's always going to be somebody who's not making the money. But for the most part, that we can't just go back to that part. Like there's more to it. There's more things to it than just if we can raise the economic level of North and South Omaha and things, then we've solved the problems. That's not exactly. Don't have all the argument there yet. I'm just getting to this point myself, but I am seeing that a lot of there's Bro, some of the things I've been checking out, I'm really looking at what's going on in Omaha. I'm going there. I mean, it's literally about this. We used to joke and call certain people, members of our community, the big suits.
Mhm.
And the historical stuff that I've been checking out is like directly addresses uh the politics that they call um
Oh, I just I'm picking up what you put. Are you referring to that video you sent me?
that's one of them, yeah.
Hmm.
Did you watch that? So I found this video about the black middle class that was shot in the late 60s, and I was stunned by how much the black folks that considered themselves upper echelon were they spoke like white people. They blatantly said they didn't associate themselves with other black people, with poorer black people. It was like watching a bunch of white folks speak on how they're separate from black folks,
Mhm.
and really kind of hammered in the point, like the kind of politics. We used to say this all, especially Generation X says this kind of stuff all the time. I think no matter if you're wearing a suit or if you're wearing workers' clothes, you still black. You still look like a certain thing to the majority of the people in this country.
Mhm.
And so there's this kind of respectability politics thing that's happening, and I finally see how it's happening in Omaha, but more than I was seeing it before. There most definitely is a class of folks that are not relating to another class of folks economically
Mhm.
in our community, and their solution is the perception, how things look, how respectable you are, how much money you make, how tied you are to the church. Definitely seeing some of these things. So
This is why I always say, and big shout out to Sister Andrew Joy Pearson, who spoke with us last week, and she mentioned something just in passing that really stuck to me. This is something I always say as far as what movement we are in human history. What era are we in human history? This is a human rights movement. We need a human rights
mm,
revolution
mm,
because we don't see each other as human and we don't connect on that level, and we're never going to get anything done until we do that. It's connect on a human level, because classism, racism, all the isms is dividing the people, and we're not going to get anywhere. Marianne Williams says classism comes in all colors, and I always say that racism classism is really the issue that's plaguing us, and racism is only a buffer to keep us from getting to the classism issue.
mm.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. Coming from somewhere else, being born and raised in California, and it could be the time frame that I was in California and what I was aware of then. Things do seem different here, though. There's
Hmm.
the racism is different here, and it makes sense why. To me, sometimes we talk about how like Omaha is a little bit stuck in back in the day, and so some of the stuff I felt like we were over when I was a young man in California. Um, that kind of respectability politics piece is a little further along out on the coasts.
Hmm.
Here it's still the thing where you put on a suit and and go to church and show up at the city council meetings or whatever, then you're of a different class, and there is a lot of that. This is how are going to thrive as a race, as quote unquote black people. This is how we're going to function. This is how we need to function here because of the kind of racism that's here in Nebraska is kind of like that. Like you said, this is like this is like the Mississippi of the Midwest.
Hmm.
So there's a way that things are here that naturally will move people to think this is what we can do in order to be okay, in order to not be okay, but in order to relate and work with folks and win. And we're not going to be able to do it any other kind of way. And then when that behavior gets rewarded by accolades, money, and so on and so forth, because that's the thing that was blocking me. there's things that I know that the brothers in the Empowerment Network are doing that are working.
Mm-hmm.
They also get resources though. They're able to get resources. They're able to do, they're able to talk to the powers that be and find some compromise in there. That's why I don't want to discredit what nobody's efforts are doing, because I can see why everybody decides to go the way they decide to go. I can understand why when Brother Kasim gets on talking about how he don't mess with none of that, and now he's here for the people on the street level. Why that's necessary? I can also talk to other brothers that are, talk to them like brother senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne, who talk to the governor on a regular basis, trying to negotiate some things and work with him. Right. And I can see the necessity there. So it's almost like what I want to do is I'm learning about all these different situations, these different classes, and I'm already ready to eliminate all that. I don't even want to call big suits no more. We're all trying to do something in the way that we're trying to do something. Some people think that other things are more effective than others. I think that there is room for all of it, and we just had to figure out how to bring it together. But they're all isms. They're definitely isms, and the isms are there to break the community apart even more so. White supremacy, like Brother Knight is saying right now, all the isms have one source: white supremacy. So, there it is. Yeah, I'm jumping in. Miss Cheryl Wilson says Omaha is very classist and racist for sure. Marianne Williams says I agree, buddy, but I think it's more caste system class though.
I have to agree.
Yeah. Miss Eric says it is very different here. I arrived in the 90s and felt like I was in what I heard the South was. Same here. Same here. Mississippi of the Midwest, super heavy. Yeah, Black Dynamite for real. Yeah. Brother Knight says they think whites view them differently. We're talking about that dichotomy, that black what they call the black middle class back in the day. It's the more I'm here, the more I appreciate Brother Malcolm X, bro. Malcolm X told it from the jump when he was back in the day talking about the agents that are out there. We are not immune to that here either. That is absolutely here, and it's tough because everybody personally, and it's hard, and you want to be respectful. You want to also hold people accountable, call people out, make them see things that they may not be seeing about even themselves. We'll find a way, but we're not going to disregard what it is, because that is absolutely what's going on too. That's it. Mama God says California has laws that support diverse people, constructs and dogmas. Nebraska does everything to keep things the same because counterpart is too afraid to lose power. Yeah.
Just about every state saying and catchphrase that they come out with tells you exactly that. It's not for everybody. The good old life.
Yeah, the good life cracks me up too, because at the same time, reports are coming about how this is the worst place in America, one of the worst places in America. We're 6th right now. I just saw something on Friends of First Sky Omaha, I think Tony Johnson put out, talking about that we're 6th in the country for like the worst place for black people to be. Yeah. And used to be the 1st. Hey, this is Baby God back there. What's up, Baby God? Yeah, sneaking
in peanut butter on her face. Get out of here. Go like your face. Got a face full of peanut butter. Yeah, trying to be on camera.
She got high off that peanut butter. I was like, let me see what's going on. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all your comments, man. It's really, really a pleasure to be able to go off to the left there and talk about theorize on some things, philosophize on it for a minute. Appreciate that. 8:50 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we are getting close to the end of the show. Lightning round, or are we good?
We're good. We're good. You got any haps? Let's go ahead and jump into the haps. Get about it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the haps, and if you guys got any haps too, let us know. Definitely, we're going to make sure that we get some haps in this week, man. Get some haps in about what's coming up this next month.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of activity, and we're gonna be gone by next week. So let's check it out.
What's happening? What's going down?
All right, we're gonna jump into the haps because why not?
Why not?
It is Monday, June the 12th, 2023. And we do have Juneteenth coming up next week. Definitely want to talk about what's going on there. Let's see if I don't want to be missing nothing in the. She said, "What was the video you watched?" I'll post it on Friends of First Sky Omaha because that was interesting. I couldn't believe it. I was like
Yeah.
sick to my stomach. I couldn't
Well,
believe like how brainwashed black folks was.
going to a HBCU,
Woo.
classism within, you know, the community, quote unquote, is real, and there are
Man,
definitely some. Um, I was trying to find the words. There's an article, but basically, Noble Drew Ali, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who founded the Moorish Science Temple of America, which later spurred it off into the Nation of Gods and Earths and the Nation of Islam and all the quote unquote African American based organizations, nationalist organizations that you're familiar with. Noble Drew Ali is quoted saying that the people known as African Americans are in the state that we're in because we're straight after gods that we knew nothing about, and one of those gods is money.
we.
Yeah, I'm gonna just leave that there.
Kimmer Snipes in the chat a little earlier talked about what was going on here with this Mindful Mondays. Our friend Andrew Joy Pearson does Sound Bath. Excuse me, the Sound Bath series is held on Mondays, going down today, 5:30, 6:30. Millwork Commons. I don't know if you guys have been over there. We call it the North Side still, even though they want to call it
No doubt.
or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
Free admission on Mindful Mondays, May Sound Bath series with Andrea Joy, RSVP. She said if it's nice outside, she'll do it outside, or she'll do it inside with the air conditioning, make whatever's comfortable, because you're supposed to be able to just relax, close your eyes, get bathed by sound, and kind of reset your whole psyche. So definitely check it out, man. It's a different thing for a lot of people, but it's a very calming deal, and you can really it's really kind of meant for you to kind of meditate a little bit and just kind of turn off the world and get bathed in sound and good vibes. So shout out to Andrew Joy Pearson who's doing this. I think she's just kind of doing it too, man. It's a free event. Mindful Mondays is happening today at 5:30. Definitely check it out. You can RSVP. You need to RSVP too. So I don't see where you do that at. She didn't put that on there. So
see if we can find a link.
Yeah, we'll see if we can find a link for you, and definitely check that out. But yeah, check that out, man. Get your get your brain relaxed. That sounds like something I would actually need to do, man, because I feel like you said, the exhaustion is not in the body; it's kind of in the
mind
psyche right now, for sure.
Yeah, man.
Amy H. in the chat says, "I'll be documenting the city council meeting this week. Can't wait to hear about that." Yes,
yeah.
I did see some emails from the documenters saying that you guys were talking. I actually talked to a few people there that said that they were going to start writing articles and putting up some posts on the things that they're doing. Right. So it's just, you're going to go there and document, but now you're going to also sum it up for us and post that as articles. And that'll be really, really powerful. Really powerful. I'm glad, Amy H. I'm glad that you're a part of what's going on there with the documenters. That's the future right there, for real.
Yeah. Big shout out to everybody involved with that. Keeping that going. Speaking of the Hap Show, Weston, I don't want to get this lost in the chat, reminding us about the Butterfly House grand opening today, again, for Queen's Butterfly House. That's 1811 Emmett. That goes down at 1 p.m. Again, this is for women who have been incarcerated, to provide them with a safe space and resources and employment opportunities. So definitely a helping hand. Show up. I believe Senator McKinney will be there as well.
Yep, that'll work. Don't forget the Joy Fest coming up, man. We talk about this a lot because it's a event that we're really looking forward to here. Saturday, June 17th. The Juneteenth Joy Fest is going down. Poetry, music, dance, performances, all kinds of stuff. Definitely check them out. It's going to be on 24th and Ohio Street, and it's happening from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's kind of an all-day affair there, so definitely check them out and get with some of that youthful energy out there, man. It's a free event, and it's supposed to be nice. So it's supposed to be nice weather. So definitely check them out and be out there and feel the joy. This is the same team that does the biking all around North Omaha and Fabric Lab Cats, and there's definitely in the Culture House too. There's definitely a nice young vibe going down, of real positive, real cool, real artistic, And yeah, shout out to everybody who is putting this on as well. Juneteenth Joy Fest is going down.
Yeah, man.
Sure. What was that? JuneteenthJoyFest.com if you want more information there, for sure. Also, of course, we've been talking about what's going on with Juneteenth, the day of. Actually, the 17th as well, same day. This is arts and crafts, carnival games, family fun, free food, free for all ages. We're talking about the Omaha Freedom Fest. It's going down outside Malcolm X Memorial Plaza there. Malcolm X Outside Event Plaza, 3448 Evans Street. You know where it is. Definitely go check that out for all ages from 12 to 5 over there as well. So there's an opportunity for you to go hop around and go check this out. Go to OmahaFreedomFestival.com and check that out during the day. And then, of course, drop the kids off to grandma's and get your tickets and come back and check out Music Soul Child, Life Jennings, Angeline Timeless. That'll be going down a little later on in the evening. So definitely go check them out. You can get tickets for that as well at OmahaFreedomFestival.com. Lots going to be going on the 17th. I wish that we can all get together on some of these kinds of dates so that we're not clashing. But I'm glad that there's plenty of things to do, and I'm not worried about the numbers anymore. Both of those events can be full of people if everybody just wants to come out and participate and get down. So we definitely want to take advantage of checking out some of these events and supporting these events in our neighborhood as well. Also, 95.7 The Boss Man putting on the 6th annual Father's Day Festival. It's happening June 18th, so the day after all these activities we just spoke of. A celebration of fatherhood featuring In Vogue, Melissa Morgan, DJ Reggie C is going to be, the legendary DJ Reggie C is going to be DJing, and also the legendary Joshua L. Stupo is going to be hosting. And so that's going to be a good time at the Orpheum Theater. Definitely check it out at ticketomaha.com. It's happening Father's Day, June 18th, 2023. You guys got plans for Father's Day? Anybody doing anything for the fathers? There's just a bunch of jokes going around about how Father's Day is the worst day. Fathers don't ever get nothing.
Yeah.
But a tie. Well, you know what I'm saying? Let us know what you guys are doing for Father's Day because you got an opportunity here to go ahead and get a ticket for Pops to go check out In Vogue. I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Nobody cares about the fathers.
That's what they say.
No. But if you're deadbeat, they'll let you know about it for sure. But if you're a good father,
you barely hear about it.
No thanks.
Mama guy said, ask Buddy if son's still speaking at Moore's Juneteenth event in Atlanta. Oh, what?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know if that's exactly going on. We will be walking in the parade, but yes, my son, only 7 years old, was invited to speak and pray at the Juneteenth event.
What? Dang.
Trying to raise leaders, man.
That's what's up, bro. Man, that's news, man. Wow. Bring the video cameras out.
Yes, sir.
Paul Philman says NAACP is working on plans to have court observers in Douglas County. That's gonna be something.
Nice.
Love that. Also, Miss Erica Felt is saying we're digging in the dirt today at the Play School House and welcoming 2 new little ones. A marvelous Monday. Drink water and be good to yourselves. I feel privileged to start the day with all of you. I appreciate that very much. Very much. And speaking of which, don't forget about hitting up the Play School House.
Yeah.
You guys got people that you want to, you guys got kids that you need watched, or you have kids that you can refer. Let her know she's back open. I don't know if you remember, but Miss Erica Feld is a friend of First Sky Omaha. She's a chat chimer. She had been through some cancer situation and had to shut the business down for a minute. We all rallied and tried to help her keep the business open while she was recovering. She's recovering, and she's still recovering, but she's recovered enough now to open up the Playhouse back and get this back going. And she's looking for some kids again. So she says, I have openings for summer fun and this fall for morning preschool and all day preschool, enriched childcare. I like that, enriched childcare. That's a good phrase. Welcoming children 2 years and older. So that's what's up. There she's conveniently located minutes from 72nd and 680. And just message her at MissErica'sPlayschool.com for any questions and check it out. If you have any kids you want to refer over there, definitely hit her up. And you guys in the chat already know who she is. You probably know her personally, can hit her up personally as well. So shout out to her doing the good work. Appreciate that. She says, yeah, not grown people. Yeah, kids.
Yeah. Don't just send anybody.
There's some grown folks that need some watching during the week, but that's not what that's for. So that's what's up. Also, the mark on your calendars. You know this is going down the street naming June 16th. That's coming up. Yeah, this is coming up this week too. The street naming ceremony for Vivian Strong. For those of you that don't know who Vivian Strong is, in 1969, she was 14 years old. She was killed in Omaha, Nebraska, shot in the back of the head by a white police officer without warning. The killing sparked 3 days of what they call riots in Omaha's black community. We call uprising. Yeah, she's been a symbol for a long time. Our brother Sherman Wells has been on the show several times. Friend of First Sky Omaha, found out that he's family with this person, and they've been working on trying to get some recognition here. And it was a very, very strong push to do that. The police department, and everybody else did not want that to happen. As you can imagine, somebody who's been shot and killed by the police does not want to be associated. Don't want to be bringing out all that kind of stuff up. Right. So they got some pushback even today on doing this, but they got it done. Also, historical marker ceremony. Mark your calendars for July 28th, happening at 11:30 on 24th and Blondo Street. So street naming ceremony this June 16th, 3 p.m. at 21st and Clark. That's the area that she was shot and killed, as a matter of fact. So definitely lend your support there and check it out as well. It's 9:01 right now. I went past. Just want to mention one more thing. Stillhouse, get your tickets early. We all go to George Clinton coming September 17th. Just get your tickets early. That's all I got to say about that. This is going to be probably the last year that George Clinton is going to tour. I bet you.
Man, yeah, I've been hearing a lot of that.
Been hearing rumors. We got to make it happen though. Got to definitely check him out if he's coming.
There you go.
So yeah, there you go. And let's go ahead and get out of here. Appreciate everybody that joined in. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Yeah, of course, big shout out to all the chat chimers as always, letting your mind be free, letting your voice be heard. But of course, shout out to the ghost listeners out there taking us with them as they make their morning commutes or do what they have to do in the morning. We definitely appreciate you, love you, and thank you. If you would like to, and you can always go to our YouTube page or our Facebook page and recap the video, catch anything that you missed. Also, look back through the conversation, through the comments. A lot of good input, a lot of good information in there. So definitely do yourself a favor and go back through this conversation. And reminder, this is the last week of the season. It's moving quickly, but we're going to continue doing what we do. Going to take a little break, recharge, smell the coffee beans, and try to come back next season, revitalize and refocus. So yeah, big shout out to everybody that's supporting. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. This is a reminder that we don't do. Of course, we are getting to that, but we have not done much promotion, advertising, or anything. All this is organic. So we really appreciate you. Please continue to spread the word, because regardless of how much money we invest in advertising, the most I would say effective way to spread is peer-to-peer, friend to friend, getting information from people that you trust. So spread the word, tell a friend and tell a friend. Come check us out. In the meantime, in between time, Paul B. Take it away.
Right on. Wanda Lewis said, great show. Appreciate it. Pop says, I can't believe this season is nearly over. Great news Monday. Thank you. See you all on Women's Wednesday. Appreciate you, Pops. Most definitely. Rose Review says, hit the like button. Yeah, if you're on YouTube, definitely hit the like button and share the show if you're on Facebook as well. I really appreciate everybody who has joined in, as a matter of fact. That would be great. Make sure Heaven reads the dictionary, Mark. Okay.
Yeah, he's talking to me about trying to get my son to read the dictionary.
Oh,
I read the dictionary. Yeah, his son's name is Heaven.
Yeah. That's what's up. A good reminder.
Yeah,
that is just something I did in my youth too, man. I got real encouraged one time to jump in there and start reading. I don't know what that is, man. We all go through a little bit of that that interest in words that way, and start reading through the dictionary just to up the vocabulary. It's a very hip hop thing to do. I will say that.
Oh yeah, it's a thirst for knowledge.
Knowledge itself.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate everybody. Mama God says, take care, First Fam. Appreciate you, Mama God. Appreciate everybody that joined us today for sure. Thank you. And I also very much appreciate and give thanks to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. This is Omaha land.
Yeah, man.
Even though they don't claim the land, this is where they were first, and we want to acknowledge that. So that's what's up. Also, shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. Really appreciate that as well. And also all of you, the chat chimers, for allowing us to speak with you. We really appreciate it. Thanks for all of the input. We can't do this thing without you. Shout out to the ghost listeners too. I saw a lot of ghost listeners out there. Really appreciate them, and the radio listeners too. Thank you. You can always go to First Sky Omaha, hit the listen button, and check out what's happening there. You can also go to First Sky Omaha, hit the donate button if you're so inclined, and become a reoccurring member of the channel as well. Want to give a shout out to all of the people who've already done so, the $10 people, the $25 people, and the $50 people. Thank you very much for being reoccurring sponsors of the channel. It helps us keep this conversation going and keep things where they need to be. So again, thank you very much. Join us Wednesday when we speak to Precious McKesson and Kimra Snipes, and I'm working on another guest for that day as well on Women's Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. I'll let you know beforehand who's coming, but we're going to try to wrap it up this week with some people that we were trying to get on the whole season. We're going to make some more attempts and get them on this Wednesday, and then Friday will be our last day of season 5. So thank you very much for sticking with us this whole time. We got lots to come. So it's only going to get better. We've got a lot of good plans coming up for season 6. Can't wait to share it with you. And also check out First Sky Omaha, the Facebook page. That's where we're going to be putting the date out for the Chat Chimers kickback as soon as we get that and arrange that for the time frame when Buddy's in town. So stay tuned for that date so we can all meet face to face and hang out and have a good time and have some good conversation and just have some good relaxation as well too, man. We've been doing well, having deep discussions about what's going on in our community, and the legislative session was a long one. Brother Senators Justin Wayne and Terrell McKinney are looking forward to talking with us as well and coming and just trying to decompress. And I don't blame them. You know, we went on that journey with them this whole time, and now we understand like all that's involved, a lot that's involved, and we really look forward to just being able to decompress with them and speak with them on a human level. So that's what's up. Appreciate you very much. Marianne Williams says, have a great day, all. Yes, you guys have a great day too. We'll see you Wednesday. Take care of yourselves. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious, this is protected by the red